Hey everybody, it's Josh and Charlene Deering with the Deering team, and we are here on Main Street in historic downtown Davidson.
And we have been invited to take a private tour of Joe Kindred's restaurant, Kindred, that is one of Charlotte and Lake Norman's most prestigious restaurants. Let's go check it out.
What's up, Charlene?
What's up?
How are you? You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks so much for
What's up, big dog?
How are you?
How are you?
Thank you so much.
Welcome
yeah.
to Kindred. You've never been here, right?
Never.
Yeah, right.
This is you guys' like seats right here.
I
you
think
know what
that
I'm
we
saying?
need to have nameplates on these. for
Yeah,
us
we can
now.
arrange that. We can arrange that.
Man, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
I got a question though. I know Katie has put a lot of effort into designing Kindred. Tell me a little bit about this bar.
Yeah, so I mean, this building was built in 1914. There's a plaque out front that says White's Drugstore. When we inherited the building, we knew we wanted to preserve some things, and then the lighting, she kind of got inspired for the era of when the building was built. So
Yeah.
I can't take any credit for that, man.
It's beautiful.
Do you remember that glass of wine you had Saturday night?
Yes.
I saved you a little one, so this
Oh
is.
my gosh, you're
This is that one.
awesome.
That's a Spanish white
Thank
that Katie
you.
has, and then Josh, we got some fancy
Yeah,
shit for
thanks.
you. So
Thanks,
you know
man.
how we
I
are.
appreciate that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you guys for
Thank
being
you.
here. Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So I just wanted to know a little bit more about, Kindred, and of course, the things that you guys offer here, especially, farm to table and all that you do, and maybe take a nice little tour of the place.
Yeah, come on, let's go, dude. I don't think you've ever seen the kitchen. That's where the magic happens. So yeah, man, this is the kitchen. I don't know if you were in here beforehand, but when we started, it was actually only 7 foot. So we had to hand dig out, and there's no way for people. So they had to create a pulley system to dig the kitchen out for us to be able to get our hoods in.
Wow.
So yeah, this is our hotline, and you can see like all the cooks work towards here, and this is where I stand on like busy nights, and I oversee all the food, and then we send it out.
Yeah.
And then our servers go up and down the stairs. We have food runners that wear like little Apple watches. 8.3 miles they run on a Saturday night.
Are you serious? Wow.
8.3
That's cool. You
miles.
track that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about, the specific food that you guys do. Besides milk bread, because I know that's the staple here, what is your favorite thing that you guys put out?
Right now, I'm trying to create a like chefed up version of red beans and rice. Super peasant dish, but we're trying to like elevate it. And I've been on like a Creole kick ever since we got back from our vacation. And I actually went down this rabbit hole because of jerk spice. Everything in the Bahamas was jerk spice. And then my palate associated jerk spice with blackening seasoning, which kind of got me down Creole, which got me down like red beans and rice. So I'm working with my fish guy, trying to get some beautiful grouper, and that's what I'm working on right now.
That's
So
awesome.
It's actually been about 2 weeks I've been weirding out on it.
So I can't help but notice as I'm standing here, right there is the chef's table. And I know Charlene and I have sat at that table a couple times.
Yeah.
And the experience is phenomenal, but I'm curious to know what made you put a table down here and what's the story behind it?
We thought it would be super cool to have a place where our guests can come down and they can get like an exclusive experience. We do a lot of off menu stuff here. So like on any given night, like if it's a VIP, like you guys coming in here, this will be where we try out a lot of our new dishes. Like Saturday night, they got to try that red beans and rice that I was working on. My uncle actually built this table out of repurposed timbers from when we had to do some demo upstairs. So
That's awesome.
it's super cool. The only way it can get out is if you take these two pieces off. So it's really neat, and it's just cool. It's exposed brick. Katie built a little wine cellar into the wall, which keeps the wine actually at a perfect temperature, because right now, if you think about it, we're underground. We're in
Yeah.
a basement.
Yeah.
So it's that perfect, temp that you want your wine to be stored at. We have our cookbook library where the cooks can take a book, take it home, read it, and then bring it back. And it's just kind of like a library system, but it's a great way to educate them and get them inspired by other chefs that really get us excited. So one of my favorite, things about this building is my little like secret entryway. You remember in the chef's table?
Yeah.
You guys came down that way,
Yeah.
but it's a great way to sneak people in and out. We have Panthers that come down here and enjoy the chef's table, and they have their own private entrance.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome. Yeah,
let's check it out.
So this is obviously our favorite table in the house, and one of the things we love about it is that we get to look out on Main Street and see that iconic Kindred. Tell us a little bit about where that design came from.
Yeah, so a guy named Gibbs Connors out of, I think it's like Philly, He designed that. It's hand-stitched gold sign that Katie designed our logo, but then he executed the artwork and stuff. And obviously this is your little VIP table,
Yeah.
so works great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is. Man, thank you so much for showing us around the restaurant. I really appreciate that. And here we are at the bar, and you know, this guy and I have known each other for what, like 30 years now,
Yeah,
at least.
at least.
We went to elementary school, junior high, and high school together.
North Mac.
Yeah, North Mech representing over here. And
Do that boogaloo.
yeah, and we played baseball together. We had to be 7 or 8, you know, when we first started. And I think we ran into each other on the field, you know, for our first time. Like we played at Davidson, we played at Cornelius, we traveled all around, you know, the Lake Norman area. Sometimes we'd go into Charlotte. Yeah, man, here we are. And I really appreciate, you know, the opportunity to sit down with you and just chat. But
He was the cool kid that was really good at sports. All the girls liked him.
I don't think I've ever asked you how you got into, you know, cooking and being a chef and just, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, man.
Or the restaurant business.
Right. Well, it's funny. It goes back to North Mech and our, you know, our alma mater, man. My sophomore year, I signed up for baking and pastry, the culinary arts program. I ended up getting a teacher, Mr. Wilson, who still lives here in Davidson to this day, helped us renovate our server station, actually. You know, he took me under his wing, and I started, you know, baking the cookies. And by my senior year, I was like running the school cafeteria thing. And
Wow.
I ended up winning a national cooking competition the senior year out in Anaheim, California, and got a huge scholarship to Johnson & Wales. And that's how I was able to afford to go to college.
Wow.
You know, I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't. If it wasn't for Mr. Wilson in that class.
Wow, man, that's awesome. I did not know that about you. I knew, you know, you were doing the culinary arts thing, but I never knew you entered any competition and won. That's awesome. I don't know if you remember this, but this man, we had some parties, and this man one night was like, hey, you guys got to try my garlic mashed potatoes. And you made us all, and it was the best garlic mashed. Do you remember that?
I don't, man. I probably had a couple highlights in it.
The best garlic mashed potatoes I've ever had. I got to ask you, man, what's on the menu for today or this week?
Right. So we got some really good oysters in out of the Gulf that we're going to do kind of like a play on fried chicken, where you buttermilk, dredge them with flour, fry them up crispy, serve it with a dill yogurt. It's going to kind of be like a fancy chef-driven ranch. So it's kind of like fried chicken and ranch, but done chefed up way.
Yeah.
Hopefully you and Charlene like that.
Oh, you know, man, nice little southern twang to it.
Oh, yeah.
But I love that you always, like, somewhere in that menu, you know, if I remember when you and I used to talk, you would take like different things from like different areas that you've been to, you know, and kind of incorporate it into your style.
Yeah.
And then, but you always keep that southern root about you, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, I know you and Charlene like to travel. Katie and I love like getting out, and like, you know, we'll go down to Charleston, and you know, you eat at all the restaurants that inspire you, just like I'm sure you get tricks from, you know, other real estate agents and
Absolutely.
stuff. And, you know, it's like, oh man, I really liked how they paired like carrots with cumin. And then you'll come back here, you know, and you don't just take their idea 100%, but like, we'll try and say, okay, well, can you grow these carrots? And then we'll try and throw some southern aspect to it. It's kind of like our yogurt sauce. Instead of using mayonnaise, we use yogurt because it's, you know, healthier for you, stuff like that. Right. So we're always looking for new ways to get inspired through travel.
Yeah. And I know you guys, you know, again, being from here, I know you guys go to the farmers market a lot. How much would you say, like, you get, you know, from the farmers market to incorporate into, I mean, is it little, is it a lot, does it depend?
Yeah, I mean, you know, from about November to about right now, it's your sweet potatoes, your kale, stuff like that, because North Carolina, you know, a lot of people don't know it, but man, it gets cold here, you know, well, you know it, but so it's hard to grow things, but I mean, from like March until about October, man, we're popping. I mean, I would say anywhere between 50 to 60% of our menu is sourced, you know, whether it's the Davidson Farmers Market, the Matthews Farmers Market, working with our local fishmongers. They're going down to Charleston, Murrells Inlet, getting us some of the best fish we can get. We have a guy here in North Carolina that gets us amazing stuff. So we try and give back to like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia.
That's awesome, man.
Supporting those local farmers.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's been a pleasure getting to hang out with you a little bit and you welcoming us into Kindred. And
next time I need to get you down in the kitchen, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Chefing up some stuff.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, you would let me?
Come on, man. Let's do it.
Anyway, man.
Yeah.
Hey, cheers.
Yeah, dude.
Thank
Good
you.
Good seeing you, man.
Absolutely. Brother, thank you.
Good seeing you, bro.
Yep, you too.